Everyone, please welcome Ms. Harta Bauer. Next, I'll be introducing our speakers. Once again, we have the knowledgeable Mr. Sani Hamid, Director of Economy and Financial Markets at Financial Alliance. Everyone, please welcome him onto the stage. Next up, we have our second speaker, Mr. Umar Munshi. Mr. Umar is the co-founder of Ethis Global, an emerging group of impact investment and ethical crowdfunding platforms and fintech companies regulated in multiple jurisdictions. They are also based on Islamic finance principles. Starting in Singapore in 2014, Ethis is now present in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Dubai, where it serves retail, high net worth, and institutional investors and donors to match them with sustainable and impactful projects, campaigns, and companies. Mr. Umar is the chairman of the Islamic Fintech Alliance Founders Group and was recently appointed chairman of the iConnect Islamic Fintech Program. He also advises other Islamic finance players including Islamic Finance in Singapore, RBF Digilabs, Global Sadaqah, and ADI Advisory. With that, please welcome Mr. Umar Munshi. And last but not least, this is our first speaker for the panel, Mr. Syed Alsagoff. Mr. Syed is Associate Director and Head of Sharia Services for CTS CIME. He is responsible for the management and development of all Sharia-related matters, including the development of the financial goods products and services, Islamic governance, as well as partnership and outreach initiatives. Educated at the prestigious International Islamic University in Malaysia, which is short for IIUS, in Islamic jurisprudence. He also holds a master's in Islamic finance from the International Center for Education in Islamic Finance in Syed. He is also an ARS certified Ustaz, and as the CTS Securities Sharia Specialist, he is tasked to develop iCash, Singapore's first end-to-end Sharia-compliant trading account. Previously, he worked at Progress Investment Holdings and Fintech Singapore, where he honed his skills in business development, project management, as well as consulting, where he worked on a range of Sharia investment-related projects. Everyone, please welcome Mr. Syed Muhammad Alsagoff to the stage. I will now hand the time over to Ms. Hajar to kickstart the panel. Enjoy!
Thank you so much for that very nice introduction. Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. My name is Hajar and today's discussion is centering around the emerging trends and opportunities in halal investments. Right, just to set the context for our audience today, basically, what we hope to achieve in today's discussion is to actually allow our audience to actually not just be familiar with one, two, but actually three different modes of investments for this panel discussion. Alright, so we have Mr. Sani Hamid from the advisory sector, and then we have Mr. Umar Munshi that is specializing in crowdfunding, if I'm not wrong. Right, and we also have Mr. Ustaz Syed. That is this is a very interesting topic because it is more on the you develop the first Islamic trading platform. Per se, right? Okay, so this is a very interesting, very wide variety of panels we have for today. So before that, right, this panel discussion is going to be a little bit special. So before we go into the discussion itself, I heard that actually all our each of our panelists have some sort of sharing that they want to show us, right? So first and foremost, I would like to
be going through my slides, but before that, just want to thank the organizers, Islamic Finance Singapore, IFSG, and everybody here, because this event is about everyone here. And the hope, inshallah, that I have is whatever we share and learn together today will spread beyond this room, right, to all your own networks and your friends and your contacts, inshallah. Because as shared by Mr. Sani Hamid earlier, Islamic finance being compliant to the Sharia when it comes to finance is just so critical, yet somehow I think it's sorely lacking, not only in Singapore but many parts of the world. Yeah, but let me jump to my 1 hour presentation. At 1 hour, right? I have 10 minutes, so I don't speak fast, inshallah. And this was one very long time ago in Singapore. There's a kicker. Should I get a kicker? Okay. Right, we were born in Singapore in 2014. I'm Singaporean, born and bred, although I've been living overseas for quite some time now. And after that, we expanded to various different countries. I'll share what we do in a short while. And early years, what we did, which we no longer do today, but early years, we helped Singaporeans mostly, although we had investors from all around the world, to invest in housing development projects in Indonesia for low-income families. Right? So you do good and you make profit as well. But the pandemic came and everything changed, and today we're doing other things and a lot of other things as well, which I'll touch on in a short while. Alhamdulillah, with challenge there comes opportunity. Whenever things are tough, things tend to get better after that. So over the past 3 years, we actually obtained 3 licenses for investment platforms, and our focus is basically to help investors invest in the real economy, meaning invest directly in businesses and products, right? Businesses and companies. So we have a booth there. We will be happy to give you more information later on. And we are an old, fintech company or startup. We've been around for a long time. We were frankly an accidental pioneer. So by virtue of being a pioneer and the breakthrough work that we did early on, and even today, we were recognized with various kinds of accolades, alhamdulillah. Now, this is the part that's important. Okay? So what we do is, when we first started, it was just to help Singaporeans invest in halal projects. Right? That's why we existed, that's how we were born in 2014. Today it's become more than that, right? And you can see the first point here, we merge fintech, technology, Islamic principles, and responsible finance. Of course, for Muslims, what's Islamic is also what's responsible, it's also what's ethical, it's the same, right? But for people who are not faith first or not Muslims or not thinking from that perspective, the responsible part comes in as well. Right? So we merge these 3, and we help on 2 sides of our platform. On one side, we help SMEs and startups and companies raise funds. And where does that money come from? It's not from me. I'm not the guy with the money. We are the ones who operate the platform that matches money to opportunities. Okay? So the money comes from all of you. Yeah. One way of phrasing this is crowdfunding. Another way is alternative investment platform, funding marketplace. There's so many terms for what we do, and I'll share a little bit more detail in a short while because I think my time is running out. As I mentioned earlier, we did get some licenses, alhamdulillah, in different countries, and these are our platforms. The main biggest platform we have is in Indonesia. Unfortunately, right now it's only for those based in Indonesia to invest directly in short-term financing, musyarakah or profit-sharing projects. You can invest as well, and if you'd like to know how, then you'll have to come to our booth behind there. In Malaysia, we raise funds for companies. You can become shareholders in Malaysian companies with small amounts of investment. And of course, we have Global Sedekah, which all of you can test out if you like, with $1 or $10 or any amount. You can do zakat, sedekah, wakaf online. Right? And the last one is a new platform. I won't touch so much on it today. Okay, I've more or less touched on some of these things. Right? I think the crux of it is we know when. Okay, let me share a little bit of how what the type of questions I get, how I respond. Sometimes people ask me, how do you come up with this idea? Right? And I tell them it's not my idea. The solutions for humanity, the solutions for finance are already there in Islam. Right? It's just that we Muslims have failed to bring it out properly in this modern world. So that's what we're trying to do. Right? We're trying to manifest Islamic finance in the real world. And Alhamdulillah, we already have the Islamic finance industry, right? And the industry is really doing a lot of good things, but there are many, many gaps that exist. And that's what we're trying to do, we're trying to fill using technology. Alright? Okay. Just some pictures of our team. We have about 80 people in different parts of the world. Alhamdulillah. Yes, okay. Next. We have 2 founders. You can go to the next one. Right, just to share and show some of our key individuals in the company. They go next. Thank you. Next, inshallah. All right. Now, I have many more slides, but given that it's 10 minutes, I will not take up more time. I know she's giving me some happy but not so happy looks. So, the gist of it, I think you get it. Right? Inshallah, later on there will be a short pitch, and of course we are behind. And as we speak, I'll share more, inshallah. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Mr. Umar. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Sani Hamid to share his sharing.
Sorry, I stand here. Otherwise, my neck pain. Oh, the slides are not yet started. Okay, never mind, no problem. Thank you very much. What I'll do is, okay, it moves. Since we are talking about trends, what I want to do is first I want to just briefly introduce to you the company I work with so that you understand what kind of products and services we provide. And then I'll go into some of the trends of the products and services that we have. Okay? So very briefly, we are an independent financial advisory firm. In 2012, I set up the so-called Islamic department within this firm itself. And thereafter, we also have, I understand it. Thereafter, we have basically Shara committee made up of individuals called Alsagoff and Professor Dr. Akram Al-Aziz. Okay, so these 2 individuals make up what we call the Shara committee for our firm, and they will decide when a product is not Shara compliant, meaning to say that insurance, for example, I spoke to you about the fatwas, they will do those things. Okay? So over the years, we've done a lot of so-called Shara portfolios, which I'll tell you about, and we've been quite innovative in introducing certain funds and such. Okay? So let's just dive into it first. Number one, if you remember earlier on the slide I showed you, there was like 400 plus conventional and 5 Islamic funds. Remember the last one I showed you? Today, these are the funds that are Islamic that we have. These are the so-called funds that we have in terms of unit trust. These are the ETF Sharia compliant funds that we have. Most recently, we worked with a company called Tiger Brokers, and we now actually are able to gain access to these 2 Islamic funds exclusive to our company itself. So by and large, the universe, as you can see, for totally 100% Sharia compliant investment solutions is fairly large in this particular group. And no longer 5, but I didn't come, but probably many more times about that, many more times that. Okay? So given this huge universe, what we can actually do is we can actually create portfolios. And I showed you roughly the last time what we did, but this is giving you a more bigger picture. If you are a low risk investor, we have basically the unit trust to put together, the sukuks to put together in order to give you what we call a suitable investment for a low risk investor. If you are a high risk investor, then we of course can carve out. So today, any type of risk, whether low risk, medium risk, high risk, we have basically all the necessary so-called solutions to put together in order to serve the various investors itself. Okay, so I think from a retail perspective, alhamdulillah, much better than we were 10 years ago. You have 100% Sharia compliant solutions. We have also gone one step further to introduce new Sharia solutions. To give you an example, in Singapore, some of the REITs that you may have bought, REITs is basically the Real Estate Investment Trust, some of them are Sharia compliant. But you buy them individually, what we did is we worked with a company called Phillip Capital to put it into a fund. Something like a fund, not exactly a fund, something like a fund. So basically, we ourselves, Phillip, now has what we call I-REIT portfolio, Ideal Islamic REIT portfolio. Okay, so if you go to Phillip, you are able to subscribe to this portfolio. We are the Sharia committee for this portfolio. Both Ustaz Harun, especially Ustaz Harun and Dr. Akram, we are the ones who provide Phillip Capital with the universe. We will tell them which REITs are Sharia compliant or not Sharia compliant. And so we play a big part in this particular portfolio. We are also very active in what we call the alternative space. Alternative investments are only meant for high net worth individuals. According to the MAS, one of the criteria is you have to earn $300,000 a year and above. You have to have assets of $1 million and above, and therefore these instruments are then open to you, okay, available to you. Let me give you a little bit of background. So, for example, we have a private equity which is Sharia compliant. It initially came into Singapore many years ago. It wasn't Sharia compliant, but when we looked at it, it was dealing basically in healthcare. It was a company in the UK, has 4,000 staff, 60 branches, 2,000 clients, and so on, and it dealt in all these things. So on like one look, you know that basically, hey, adult mental health, these things are basically business activity, Sharia compliant. Okay? So what we did was we brought it over to ISRA in Malaysia to do a so-called compliance review, and end up that this fund, according to ISRA, is Sharia compliant. So basically, what we did was we converted we converted a conventional fund to become a Sharia compliant. Okay? So this, I know you can't see this, but I just wanted to highlight this bottom part there. We are actually the Sharia advisors to this fund. So this fund is carried internationally. Our Sharia advisors basically put the chalk there just to show you the level of our Sharia advisors. They are able to also be part of an international fund itself, or at least to give the Sharia compliance to an international fund. We actually also are very active in trying to bring in more and more solutions. The latest one that we've actually brought in and is available to our clients is basically a Swiss asset manager who was actually providing Middle East clients with basically a fund which trades in trade finance. If you understand banking, there's this department which does trade finance transactions. They've actually done a fund, or they have a fund which deals in that, okay, specializing in trade finance, which is basically short-term commodity murabaha transactions with physical commodities, so on and so forth. Their Sharia advisor is Sharia Review Bureau. So we basically are one of the first financial advisory firms in Singapore to make this available to our clients. We are constantly on the lookout for solutions. Okay? So we are very active in terms of trying to find solutions. We are now talking to one fund, which is a global Sharia fund. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks and months, we'll be able to bring them on board. There's one particular fund in Malaysia, which is basically the world's first Sharia Bitcoin fund. We are still talking to them. We don't know whether they want to bring them on board yet or not, but we are talking to them. When you talk about trends, what I would like to see is basically wakaf funds in Malaysia. For those of you who don't know, most of the asset management companies in Malaysia, they have actually launched unit trust, amanah saham, which are linked to wakaf. So you invest in it, and they'll take a portion of the money and they'll do wakaf on your behalf. So very good. So I thought maybe I will try and get some of this to come over to Singapore. I hope that in the future, one of the trends that will occur is, right now, if you want to invest your CPF, there is a Sharia compliant global equity fund that you can invest in, but there is no sukuk that is CPF approved. Okay? So basically, I'm trying to push now to see whether some of these asset management companies can somehow bring in a CPF approved sukuk. We are also now in the process of doing something quite advanced. It's called tokenization. Tokenization is we're working with some partners whereby all these kind of funds are these kind of fanciful funds. Sometimes you nak masuk, it's $1 million to get in, just to get in. You must have. But with tokenization, we are able to bring it down to $20,000, make it very small, very intuitive. So this is something that we are also pursuing very, very actively. So these are just some of the trends. Some of the trends that we are I actually see going forward. So I hope I'm just giving you very short 10 minutes. I know you're looking at me, so I better go pass it on.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hamid. And I would like to invite Mr. Syed.
Assalamualaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Okay, a quick 10 minutes for me. This one. By the way, actually I don't know that I'm supposed to present my company. So it's nothing about my company here. It's just a slide about the opportunities in the Islamic market. So maybe I'll start with introducing my company. I'm from CGS CIMB Securities. So even Umar just now asked me, what is CGS? You heard of CIMB, the CIMB Bank, right? So by the way, in 2018, CGS, China Galaxy Securities, they wrote over our company 50%, hence the name of CGS CIMB Securities. So previously we are known as CIMB Securities. I want to introduce my product, but maybe first we just talk about a little bit about the opportunities in the Islamic stock market. Okay, because I'm talking about the stock market, and because I see the demographic of the audience, more than 50% you consider yourself as beginner, and then why you should look into or you start a journey investing in the stock market. Some of the key points here, I think the first one will be the liquidity. So it's easier for you to enter the market anytime when the market is open. You can buy or you can sell. You can open or you close your position. It's made more easier than other type of investment, which requires you to enter at a certain point of time and make it easier for you to create your own horizon of investment. Secondly, diversification. This one, when I go through my other slides, you can see there is a lot of Sharia compliant stocks available for all of you. Because there's a misconception saying that, oh, Sharia is very limited. I don't find any Sharia compliant stock. Or maybe I don't know how to find it. Later I will share with you some of the Sharia compliant stocks or where can you find the Sharia compliant stock. The third one is ability to start small. This is the most, I think, biggest features of investing in the stock market. You don't need a big capital, you don't need 5K, 20K, 10K. You can start as simple maybe as $100. 100 lots, if the stock is trading at $2, $200 you can start. Even if you have a big capital of 1 million, you can invest in the stock market. The third one is to earn regular basic income. So some of the investment, you can see is start with the investing, the project or the product until it's mature or certain days. But in the capital market, you can find any dividend-paying companies that you can earn passive income. And last but not least, no capital gains tax in Singapore. That is one of the good things about investing in Singapore stock market. There is no tax at all for capital gain and the dividend. Okay, let's look at the Singapore market. What we have in the Singapore market for Sharia compliant. So total securities there's about 600 plus. How many are Sharia compliant? It's only 143, which is 22% of the total securities. And you can see based on the sector allocation here, mostly are Sharia compliant. Why do you cut my slide? And some other points out there, but never mind. Okay, so there's a lot for you to find in Singapore market, which is Sharia compliant. 143 from you to choose from. Firstly, last time it used to be how they want to find Sharia compliant stock instead of to do your own trading due diligence on certain stocks. You can find firstly on FTSE Asia China 100 Index. However, for that index, it consists of 50 largest stocks from Japan and the other 50 from 4 countries, Japan, Korea, Singapore, and Taiwan. And you can find maybe only 3 or 4 stocks from SGX. However, recently they also have this FTSE Singapore Sharia Index. Here you can find about, I think 30 plus Sharia compliant stocks. One of the biggest things that people find it hard to invest, because firstly they don't know which stock is Sharia compliant, right? So by the way, CGS and Securities last year we introduced iCash trading account, in which when you open the trading account, you can filter and can find which stocks are Sharia compliant. It's not for SGX. We also cover Malaysia market, Indonesia, US, and Hong Kong. Okay, the next one is Malaysia Bursa. So our neighbor, then total of 980 securities listed, 800 are Sharia compliant. So it's about 82% of the stock listed. So there is more varieties for you to choose to pick your own portfolio. How about unit trust? Then about 200 plus. Singapore, Sani Hamid, we have got a dozen unit trust. 20, yeah. Some is for AI, right? Yeah. So and for ETF we have 7. For those who want to start, I think they can consider ETF. And you can see in Malaysia market they are more vibrant when it comes to Sharia compliance. You can see a lot of unit trust. Next is Indonesia. So Indonesia also is a major market. You can see there's about 800, almost 900 stocks. 64% are Sharia compliant. So you can see from the sector itself, everything is growing. Meaning even the Sharia compliant list, securities, products, even the unit trust is growing from year to year. So there's a lot of opportunities in this market. Okay, my last slide is other markets. So we talk about Singapore, we about 140 plus stocks Sharia compliant, which is equivalent to about 20%, Malaysia, and then Indonesia, Thailand, we have 340 Sharia compliant stocks. United States, more than 1,000 from. So if you know all the big names like Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, all these are Sharia compliant. Hong Kong, Australia, recently, not recently, I think about 2 years ago, they also introduced Sharia ETF in the Australian market. So if you interested by ETF, the Australian market, you have that, and as well as Philippines. I think that's it. Oh, I have more time. That's good. I want to share more about maybe later with the question. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ustaz Syed. Okay, so before I start asking questions, just to let the audience know, if you have any pressing questions that you guys want the panelists to answer, do send it over in the Slido, alright? If you see the question that you want the panelists to really answer, you can even vote on it, okay? So, the first question that I would like to give to the panelists today, right, is basically how you started specializing in your each of your specializations. Okay? For example, Mr. Umar, you are into crowdfunding, right? And how do you even get into it, and how do you like merge the concept of Islamic finance into that your sector as well? Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just share a bit of the story of how it started, which is about 11, 12 years ago. At that time, I was based in Jakarta. I was doing business in Indonesia, and one day the business closed down. Right, so one day the business basically shut down, and I had to come back to Singapore. As a younger person back then, when business closes down, it's quite challenging, right? And I was under financial difficulty when the business closed down, with a lot of debts. So when I went back to Singapore, the banks were no longer so nice to me. In fact, they were quite punitive, right? I was punished in a sense. Does that sound okay? Right. So that was actually a blessing this time. Because now when the business closed down, it was actually a blessing in disguise. Because before that, I did not know about halal and haram in finance, in business. I just had no idea. I come from I would say, a rather conservative family, but we didn't know either, right? We were not aware. So I realized that I was dealing in riba in my business, and that's why there was no barakah. So I was then introduced to Islamic finance by a friend, and we spent a few years trying to pull in Islamic finance products into Singapore. We did not get anywhere. We did not manage to bring in products from overseas to Singapore. And so we decided to create our own. And that's how we started. We had a community of investors, which Alhamdulillah today has grown in size. And because of my experience and background in Indonesia, we had a lot of projects. So that's where we started to curate those projects for investors in Singapore. And later on, regulations came in, licenses came in, and the business grew and became bigger, and took off on its own. Yeah. So that's a quick background of how I got into this.
Very nice. Okay, thank you so much. I think just like every business owner's journey, right? A successful business is when you can actually find a market, a gap in the market, and then you feel that there is a solution, right? And the fact that Mr. Umar can manage to actually create products that actually suit the problem that you are facing, that's actually amazing. Very mashallah, actually. Right. So thank you so much for sharing with us your journey. And next, I would like to ask Mr. Sani Hamid. Okay, Mr. Sani Hamid. I was actually telling my parents that, oh mama, I have this sharing that I will be doing today with Mr. Sani Hamid. And she's like, what? Mr. Sani Hamid? So you guys, just to let you guys know, Mr. Sani Hamid has been in the industry for about 3 decades. 3 decades, am I right?
Thank you for making me look at the dinosaur. 30 years is a long time.
30 years means you are quite specialized in your industry, right? Not a dinosaur, but okay. So my question to you is, it's because I'm also in the same industry as you, right? We're in the financial advisory space, and as per your lesson earlier, you mentioned that we are dealing with conventional products, right? So at which point of your career, right, that you decided that, hey, this is something that our Muslim clients are not able to get or rip off from the industry. So I'm going to cater an Islamic solution for them. So what made you what was the turning point for you then?
Well, I think every one of us has this kind of awakening in our journey towards trying to be a better Muslim. It can come in different phases of life, it can come in different parts of sometimes you are more aware in the religious ritual, but you are less aware of the muamalat, and that comes later in life and so on. So mine was actually when I had worked for 30 over years, or at least 30 years in my last job, this rat race in the financial industry. I came to a point where I said I wanted to stop, and I wanted to go into, there was just something in me, I wanted to go in and serve the community better in a way, and I wanted to, my dream was always to create ecosystem, a Sharia ecosystem that the community can tap on and do everything Sharia compliant and stuff like that. And so I took a CFP, Certified Financial Planner certification, came out, joined the financial advisory firm. In that process, set up FIWA, Financial Alliance Islamic Welfare Advisory, in order for the Muslim community to have an avenue to do their financial planning in Islamic way. Okay? I didn't stop there because I talked about ecosystem. I helped set up with the help of the AMP, while in the AMP, the Debt Advisory Center, Pusat Nasihat Hutang and EFT, which today has served roughly about 3,000, coming to 4,000 people who have debts worth nearly about 100 million dollars. It's to advise people, and I think from the slides where I spoke about debt, you understand where it's coming from. I feel that the community for the longest time had to try to save and save and save, but as long as you have people who are in debt, basically it's kind of siphons away all the saving, because one person is in debt, borrow from others. So we need to plug that thing, and it's very Islamic. So I was instrumental in setting up the debt advisory center. I felt passionate about having the Araknu Islamic pawn shop. Together with another friend of mine, I also was instrumental in getting a joint venture with Value Max, a listed company. You can find now in Lucia, there's an Araknu pawn shop, and we just opened another one nearby, King Road, the second branch. So to me, this is the creation of a system. Do your financial planning, you can manage your debt, or there's an avenue to help manage your debt, and there's an avenue to do to get what we call Sharia compliant, collateralized borrowing and such. So these are things, some of the things that, and I, going forward, if you ask me what I want to do, even to the extent of trying to, let's say, I'm ambitious, get a money lender license and start giving out loans in terms of Qardul Hasan without interest, just only management fees, stuff like that, So stuff like that, even creating a fund that does this kind of thing. So there are many things that we can do. I'm trying to create this financial ecosystem with the help of many individuals who plug in some of the other stuff. And hopefully by the time we all leave this world, we will have left behind for our children and their children an ecosystem which allows the community to function in Sharia compliant.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sani, for your insightful observation of the industry as well, and how we can actually impact on the ecosystem as well, right? It is actually everybody's effort actually to create an ecosystem that is suitable for us Muslims, right? And last but not least, I would like to ask Ustaz Syed, okay? Ustaz Syed, when we talk about trading platforms, right? A lot of scholars or maybe people in the general public, they always say, oh, trading is haram, trading is haram. So how does the iCash platform is Sharia compliant? Because I understand that you are the one that headed the development of the project. So how do you throughout your research can actually develop a product that is Sharia compliant when everybody else thought it was haram?
Okay, firstly, I think there's a misconception about the word trading itself. So people thought trading is haram. By the way, Rasulullah SAW was a trader himself, right? So, but when it comes to trading, people thought on capital market, you just look at the graph with all this information, you buy and sell. It doesn't work like that all the time. Meaning, if you want to do that, you are able to do that. In a way, you can gamble, but that is not the intention of the capital market. Actually, for you to invest. So trading, I think there's no ulama say that trading is haram. However, how you trade can be considered as impermissible in a way to go against the Sharia. So, for example, trading to buy and stock, hands down, now everyone says it's permissible. However, when it comes how you trade on a certain structured product, maybe using margin or derivatives, then there is an issue. Secondly, even on a single stock, a pure product, the time, or how do I say, how long you hold the stock for. So some say that you need to hold a certain stock for a period of time before you can sell it. Meaning you cannot do contra or you cannot do a day trade. You buy now, after a few minutes or after a few hours you sell it, or tomorrow you sell it. Then there is a debate between ulama. Some say you can, some say you cannot. So to go out of this khilaf, what you can do, just hold and stop more than 3 days. I don't want to go deep in what is the discussion, how the ulama come to this opinion, but to be safe, if you want to buy a stock, hold it at least for 3 days, and then after that, you want to sell it, you can sell it. A lot of the products in the capital market is Sharia non compliant, to be honest. when it comes to a certain product, for example, margin. There is an equivalent Islamic margin, but it's not available in Singapore. We talk about futures product, or you talk about the CFD. These are more sophisticated product. Most of it is Sharia non-compliant. So basically, for those starters, what you can do, just simply buy a single stock, or you can buy ETF, or you can just simply buy a fund. Okay?
If I can just jump in there, my viewpoint. Imagine a piece of chicken which is halal. Okay? If my friend told me, hey, you need to go and try this ayam goreng, which is very nice. You know, me without any knowledge, I just go and try it. If the ayam goreng was fried into deep fried and super oily and super not so good for my heart, and I took it. It's still halal because it was slaughtered in a halal manner, but it's not good for my health. Okay, because I should have knowledge. So very similar to very similar to stock. If someone went into buying a stock today without any knowledge at all, because his friends say go and buy, as long as it's Sharia compliant, it's Sharia compliant. It's not haram. Okay? And it just happens to go up the very next minute because something happened. I mean, you are so lucky enough, and you sold it within the next second or next minute, the money is high. Okay? The essence of it is basically knowledge. To differentiate between just buying something to eat and then buying something oily and not good for your health because you have knowledge is not good, it's very similar to the stock. If you have knowledge, it adds to that intention of buying to laboran or buying to invest. Buying with knowledge is what Islam encourages you to do. Not simply just buying. Although it's halal. You know, you can go and eat 10 value meals in McDonald's, it's halal, but it's not good for your health. With knowledge, you will not do that. So I think all of us, in my view, halal is halal, but when you do it, you need to do it with knowledge.
Can I add more about that? Okay, when we talk about Sharia compliant, Patuh Sharia or halal, doesn't mean you must buy it. I think there's a lot of misconception which Sani covered just now. They're talking about, oh, Sharia compliant meaning there is no risk. No, it's not true at all. It's guaranteed return, it's a good stock. No, nothing about that. So Sharia compliant means that the stock is permissible. Is it for you to buy? It depends whether you like the stock. The one that you look further is actually the performance of the stock. So it doesn't mean that this is Sharia compliant, that means I can buy, but that doesn't mean you need to buy. So it's just the entry level, Sharia compliant. You need to look deeper, more than that. You can look at the performance, you can look at the ESG, the company, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Alright, thank you Mr. Syed for adding on, because I think that your add-ons actually relate back to our first question on Slido, which is are we able to see the track record of Sharia stocks past years, and how do you recommend us on steps in choosing which stock to invest, which is basically to look at the company track record, to look at performance, past performance, and so on and so forth. Anything to add on there?
Okay, maybe I'll share with you the past performance of Sharia compliant stock. So we have a Sharia index. So for example, between 2015 to 2020, if you want to compare the S&P 1200 and S&P Sharia 1200, these are both two big indexes in the US. So the Sharia outperformed the conventional, if not mistaken, by 4% annually. Okay? And then when the COVID came in 2020, you can see a sharp decline in the capital market, right, in the stock market. And then I think 2 or 3 months it's go up to the normal and went all the way up at the end of the year. So when it goes down, the S&P 1200 I think went down about minus 33%. However, for the S&P Sharia 1200, it's only go downwards of 29%. So you can see, according to this study, they say why Sharia had outperformed the conventional because of two things at that time. One thing is because they heavily weigh on technology stocks, for example, like Tesla, Apple, and so on. And secondly, they have a sector allocation for healthcare, technology, and exclusion of a highly leveraged company. So because of that, usually, not most of the time, usually Sharia will be more stable. cheaper. However, if you compare, example in Singapore, the FTSE Singapore and FTSE Sharia Singapore, you can see that the Sharia doesn't do that well compared to conventional, because in Singapore market, most of the big stock, the STI, consists of the financials. We have DBS, UOB, OCBC, which is non-compliant. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Ustaz Syed. So yes, so I think that is reiterating the point that when we invest, yes, it's important to see whether it's Sharia compliant. Secondly, it is not about, oh, if it's guaranteed return, even it's safe. Actually, it's not that, right? It is more of you doing your own due diligence to see whether it suits you or not, right? And whether you like that stock, you like that company, whether you support it, so on and so forth. Now, the next question, I would like to maybe pose it to Mr. Umar Munshi is, are there synergies between Islamic finance or investments and ESG that you think can help push Islamic products into the wider masses?
Yeah, thank you. One thing that we have always been thinking about is when it comes to branding or positioning. Because fundamentally, if we talk about ethical, good, sustainable investments, and you talk about Islamic or Sharia compliant investments, there's a big overlap. In fact, you could probably say that one could be a subset of the other. Not exactly. From the Muslim perspective, from the Islamic finance perspective, everything we do, as Brother Sani mentioned just now, the baseline is compliance. Right? That means it's halal. The chicken is delicious and halal, but it's not good for you maybe. Right? So in Islamic finance, there is this, in Islam in general, there's a concept of tayyib or good. Right? So it's compliant, it's halal, it's not haram, that is the baseline. But ideally, and in my view, intrinsically, it should always be good as well, or we should always strive to make it as good as possible. And that's what Islam is, it brings good to the world. So from that lens or perspective, Islamic finance is ethical finance. Right? And if you go deeper into the compliance aspect of it, that baseline is there to prevent injustice. Right? Why is riba haram? Why are all the different things, maisir and all that, why is it haram? Because they bring about injustice. And we can talk probably for hours about this, and we won't do that today. But I just wanted to start, some of the brain juices moving to think about this. Right? Things that are prohibited in Islamic finance is to prevent injustice. The world today, there's a lot of injustice because of the way the financial systems are set up. And going back to your question, is ESG impact investing, is that the same or aligned with Islamic finance? I mean, the answer is clearly definitely yes. And we actually have this, I would say, a gem or diamond or the perfect solution for humanity. Now, for all of us here, maybe what I'm saying relates more to me because I'm trying to create products. I know some people here also are trying to create and further the industry. How does it relate to you as a consumer or as an investor? Right? Because you may not have much influence, you think, over what happens in the market. But here comes the important part, which is the demand from the market is very critical. Like your presence here today is very critical. Earlier on, I talked about the ripple effect, where you can share what you know, what you learn today with your peers around you. So that is actually what drives the modern economy. The demand is there, the solutions will come. Right? So within the Muslim community and even outside the Muslim community, we need to create this demand and strengthen and increase this demand so that more products will come out, so that we can build the ecosystem together. And so maybe there's one point I want to end with, and I'm sure the two gentlemen here also may want to say something about it.
I totally agree. I think there's the two parts which are pushing people who want to make Islamic products more accessible, more acceptable to the wider audience, including the non-Muslims. I am the other way around. I want to ensure that products basically go down to the Muslim community, is suitable for the Muslim community, and helps the Muslim community. Because I feel that while we move to this side, which I totally agree, okay, I feel that Muslim community itself may not be at the level at this particular point to manage its own finances in the Sharia compliant. If we had a fund, the fund automatically allocates to wakaf, that would be great. If we have a fund, the fund automatically pays zakat, minus of zakat, how good would that be? So I'm pushing for those kind of products to serve the community because I think there are gaps within the community which have not been fulfilled. So both sides are correct, and we can achieve both sides at the same time for Alhamdulillah. That will work. We'll have people accepting Sharia as part and parcel of provider, investor, universe. But my role, and I see my role as trying to fill these gaps to ensure that everybody here who are Muslims, you fulfill your responsibility.
Inshallah, everybody here can actually take up that responsibility to actually push forward our Islamic finance needs in the industry as well. Yeah. So just checking, do I have one more? One more. Okay. One more question. Okay. So before so one more question that I would like to ask is about, I think there are concerns of our government in allowing more Islamic products made available to the retail investors. What are your thoughts? Anybody would like to take this question?
Yeah. So there are no concerns. As long as the products basically adhere to whatever regulations that are in place, fulfills whatever regulations are in place, then they will be allowed to be distributed here in Singapore. So, and that's why you find a lot of Sharia compliant products here. You know, if there was any challenges when it comes to Islamic structures and such, the biggest main one now is to use CPF in order to have Islamic housing loan. But we don't have at this point, and there is an impediment. The impediment basically lies in the fact that the CPF Act does not allow the Islamic structures to like first commodities and stuff like that. So if there was a way to unlock that and to allow eventually Muslims to use our CPF money to then use an Islamic housing financing, that would be the ultimate. So I think that challenge, yes, but otherwise in terms of having unit trusts,
Well, our own personal experience in Singapore is the government, they have a level playing field. We don't discriminate against or for Islamic finance. The reason why my company is set up as a HQ in Malaysia is because in Malaysia you get extra support for Islamic finance. Whereas in Singapore there's no concerns in that sense from the government, from our experience. And if you don't mind, I'll go back to my earlier point. I just want to stress on it because today my objective is to get the people here, everybody, all of us, to champion Islamic finance. Right? It's not. I'm not here to get new business, to get money. Of course, that comes in great, right? But that's not the priority. The priority is to champion Islamic finance and to spread Islamic finance. Because when we started 10 years ago, the level of knowledge was just so low, and thus the demand was low. Today, the knowledge the awareness is higher, but it can and needs to be much, much higher. Right? So it starts with us. The government is not going to block, I believe, right? And more products will come, more solutions will come when it's clear that we, the Muslims that it's made for, want it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a dinosaur, so I think Mr. Jet anyway, I think we're still going. Yeah, it's true, there's supply and demand. You want more products, you must demand it. And that was what I was saying when the TPS back and such. If no one goes in and tells TPS, I want a Sharia compliant savings account, you think they will even bother to think about it? But if every single week one person goes in, the fellas want to tell his management, sir, I've got like every week 5 people coming asking me for this, maybe there's a demand for everything, sure we can do it. And so the fact that we don't even have an Islamic account, it's not helping to us to provide the supply. So the demand has
Point that the awareness, the demand must come from the public first. because we can see throughout the years there's a lot of Sharia products coming in, and in some way they take out of the shelf. Why? There's no demand, there's no market. Why not to continue with this product if there's no demand from the Muslim? Because this usually Sharia compliant products are specifically for the Muslim community. But if our Muslim community does not want to subscribe to buy this product, who are the people you want to target them? So I think both sides need to play a part, but I think the first important thing is actually need to create a demand. Once there's a demand, naturally the supply or the FI will come up with the product soon. Yeah.
Thank you so much to the panelists today. I would like to thank Mr. Sani, Hamid, Mr. Umar Munshi and Ustaz Syed for actually sharing with us their insights, their expertise with us today. So just to sum up with what are my key takeaways as well is that Islamic products are actually available in the market. As you can see here, we have mutual funds, we have crowdfunding, we have even our first Islamic trading platform, right? Options are out there in the market. However, it comes from us whether we demand for it, whether we are knowledgeable enough to demand for it, right? So just take away from this session, I would like to conclude is maybe a call to action that maybe each and every one of us can have today is to actually find out more, to actually learn more about Islamic finance first before we can actually wait for changes to happen, right? And with that, I would like to hand over to our MC for the next session. Thank you so much, everybody, and Assalamualaikum.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you to our wonderful moderator as well as our panelists for sharing on the recent and upcoming halal investments in the space. Actually, one of our participants, just now he approached me and said that he actually came here specifically for this session. And I'm sure what they have shared just now doesn't disappoint. Okay, the clock now has struck past 12. And yeah, I'm sorry, they still with me. Please everyone, give your applause for the speakers as well as the moderators. Good job, well done. Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to say that you're hungry, but actually I'm the one who's hungry. Okay, the food has actually just arrived. It's just right outside, but I think they'll take like around 5 minutes to set up. So please, you can stand, stretch your legs, walk around, get to know new people, and if you want to say your prayers later at 1 p.m. For the gents, you can take your prayers right in that room on the left. And for the ladies, we have a musalla for you at the back, somewhere at the toilet area. Okay? Please be back here by 1:20 p.m. for our third session. Thank you.
Taruh di sini.